What's going on, everyone? So Los Angeles Lakers need to get Dalton Knecht back into the starting unit. I didn't agree with the idea of putting Rui Hachimura in place of Dalton Knecht. I thought Dalton Knecht was doing some really good things there. Even JJ Redick complimented him on his defensive improvements. He was starting to kind of get into a rhythm, starting to get into a little bit of a flow there. And JJ Redick, for whatever reason, decided to go with Rui Hachimura. I don't know if it was his doing or if it was, maybe Rob and the front office. Like, hey, we're trying to make a trade. You need to highlight Rui and show that he's good, right? Because there have been talks about the Lakers and Rob Pelinka being in constant contact with the Brooklyn Nets, right? And trying to acquire a Dorian Finney-Smith. We've heard talks, about the Portland Trailblazers and like Jeremy Grant or Kyle Kuzma and the Washington Wizards, right? And Jonas Valanciunas is available now. So it could have been like a, hey, we need Rui front and center so people can see he's healthy and can contribute to the starting unit. But we haven't won since they've taken Dalton Knecht out of the starting unit, right? Like, since the change, like, it's in many ways kind of halted the momentum, it felt like, right? And Rui Hachimura, again, he's a guy that's playing out of position. He's 6'8", and had 1 rebound last night, 23 minutes of action. Unless he's just shooting the lights out, he doesn't give you what you need. He can't defend, doesn't have athleticism, he doesn't move laterally well, right? He is a 4. He has a good lower center of gravity. He can be physical, he can be tough, he can be that bit of a bruiser, he can get to his spots, particularly in the mid-range, and has the ability to stretch out. As a 4, he makes all the sense in the world. As a 3, he's not that. But as long as LeBron James is on this team, he's going to have to play the 3. And that becomes a problem. So you either A, need to trade Rui Hachimura. As much as I like Rui, I think that that's the best course of action because he is making one of the more sizable salaries that you can trade. And some teams I do think would see some value in Rui. And then, or B, until you can pull off a trade, you need to bring him off the bench. Rui Hachimura off the bench solves several things. One, it keeps Knecht in the starting unit, which allows him to gain better efficiency, momentum, right? He is a rhythm guy, right? He is a guy that once he starts getting the ball flowing, we've seen, right? He'll go 0 of 4, and then you look up and he's 6 of 10, and it's like he just rattled off 6 straight, right? Because he starts to get into rhythm. Once he gets into that rhythm, then that's it. He's cooking. He also just takes so much pressure off of our offense and adds pressure to the opposing defense because they have to stay glued to him because if he even gets a little bit of space off, he now can just light it up. And we've seen him just go off, and every team in the league has seen him go off. Teams aren't worried about Rui Hachimura. Teams help off of Rui Hachimura. We have never heard an opposing coach screaming, move up for Rui Hachimura. We haven't heard that for Austin Reeves. We haven't heard that for D'Angelo Russell. You hear that for Dalton Knecht. You hear teams literally screaming to not let him get open, right? So even from just a scheme standpoint, you completely take a defender out of plays. You completely take a defender out of the action because they can't help off of him. So now you have those advantage plays. Now teams can't double team LeBron and AD, right? Can't double team both of them if you have that. You can't pack the paint the way that you want to because you're worried about Dalton Knecht. Right, so it disrupts a lot of the defensive game plans and defensive schemings that teams have when you have Dalton Knecht on the floor. They're not worried about Rui Hachimura. Yeah, he's shooting 50% from 3, but he's doing it on like 3 attempts. Like, teams aren't worried about that, right? Even if he made all 3, okay, you got 9 points. Like, we're not worried about that. Dalton Knecht can completely be a momentum shifter. All of a sudden the bench starts getting wild, it starts getting hyped, and LeBron's over there just like, oh, like, and it's just the vibe completely changes. It just changes the momentum. And he gives you the athleticism, and he gives you that better defense. He's not great defensively, but he's also a rookie. Right, he gets backdoored at times, he's out of position at times, but he has the athleticism to recover. He's been good rebounding the basketball and chasing down those loose balls and doing those things and making the effort. And at least defensively, he's after it. He's trying, right? Like, at times it feels like Rui and them aren't even trying, right? It's just like, can you at least just like, I don't know, move your feet? Like, it's almost like you're trapped in cement at times with Rui. But the other thing it does is it betters and strengthens the bench. Because now you have D'Angelo Russell and you have Rui Hachimura that can play kind of a bit of that two-man game. You can also kind of make Rui more of a focal point offensively, but at the 4. Because now what you can do is, at the 7-minute mark or whatever, you can take out LeBron, you can take out Austin Reeves, move them to the bench like JJ Redick likes to do, and now you can inject a D'Angelo Russell and a Rui Hachimura. And so now Rui can play, 15 minutes a game or whatever at the 4 spot. And then, LeBron, maybe sprinkle a little 3. I don't want him to play a ton of 3 because you don't want to wear him down, but sprinkle a little 3 in there so maybe Rui can get a couple more minutes at the 4, right? And I just think that opens up and expands so much more for this team, so much more for this roster. Because now Rui Hachimura, he gets to play his natural position more where he's going to be able to rebound better. He's going to be better impact defensively because now he doesn't have to chase around these quicker, twitchier, guards and wings, and he can kind of plant himself down. Also, he is already in his natural spot. You see it all the time. He likes to move from strong side to weak side when he's making his transition, right? Like he likes to go right to left, right? And then you see him kind of elevate or try to drive to the brim. And then even in one of the layups he missed, right? He went from the right side to the left side, strong side to weak side, right? So Rui gets to be slotted where he's most comfortable. You still have the threat of the 3-point shot. You now can kind of better utilize him and put him in better position. I understand he's making $17 million. I understand he's one of these guys, but it's about winning basketball games and what makes the team and puts the team in the best position. If Rui was making $40 million, I would feel the same way. If you're making decisions based solely on finances and what guys are making, then you're doing it wrong because it's about what is the best for the team. What gives you the best impact for the team? If Rui was some superstar or something like that was giving you 30 a night, then yeah, it's like, yeah, you kind of have to leave him in there, right? But that's not what's happening. Dalton Knecht has been more impactful in the minutes that he's played when he's slotted at the 3. And Rui isn't there. We've seen it. And we've seen him be able to just go off. Even when he's not scoring the basketball, which is a problem too, and I'd like to see the Lakers kind of get him more involved in the actions rather than just like sprinkling it throughout. Not saying you have to run all your offense through Dalton Knecht, but it would be nice to kind of get him, a couple looks a quarter. All right, so he can get into a natural rhythm. He can kind of get into a little bit of a flow. If he isn't hitting shots early on, right, he can kind of shoot himself back into rhythm rather than like he essentially has to go perfect if he really wants to make an impact. He's only getting 5 shots, right? Like it's like, can we get him 2 or 3 looks a quarter, right? So he's getting 10 or 11 attempts, right? Like I don't think that's far-fetched. And then, if he's struggling, he's 0 of 4 or something like that, then maybe you kind of change course, but kind of just get him confident, get him in a rhythm, get him in a flow. So he can kind of have more of an impact offensively. But even when he doesn't, even when he's not being involved offensively, teams are still worried about him, right? When Rui's not being involved offensively, teams don't care. Teams don't look at Rui as a threat at the 3. They're fine letting him take those shots. They're fine with helping off of him to go and double Anthony Davis. They're not worried, or they are worried about Dalton Knecht. They do not want Dalton Knecht to go off because, again, not all going offs are the same, right? Sometimes the momentum swing and the hype, and then the crowd gets into it, and because it's Dalton Knecht and he's a rookie, it's like, everyone's just, the vibe is different, right? Like, and he's a guy that can do it 2, 3, 4 times in a row. Where Rui's kind of like, okay, here's a 3, okay, missed 2, okay, here's another one, okay. Where Dalton Knecht, when he's going, right? He's cooking, right? Like, and that is the thing. And teams know that. Teams are worried about that. And teams have to now adjust accordingly and have to defend accordingly because they cannot let him get off because LeBron James and Anthony Davis, if you trap and you help, that's an easy, clean lookout pass. And he is so good at getting his shot off so quickly and his arc is so high, you can't block it, right? So you're just, at that point, you're praying that he misses it, right? Like you don't have that with Rui Hachimura. And Dalton Knecht, you see, still rebounding. He's getting after it defensively. He gives you the athleticism out on the perimeter, right? Like it helps so many other things. Would I prefer a more veteran guy, a Dorian Finney-Smith, some of that? Sure. Just because, again, Dalton Knecht has his struggles. He's young. He's a rookie. There's still, concerns there without a doubt. Like, he's not this just like superstar player right out the gate. But what he does currently, until we are able to get a trade or do something, what he provides, no one else on this roster provides. We don't have a single player that gives us what Dalton Knecht gives us. He's got to be in the starting unit. Look, I love JJ. I think he's done a great job given the circumstances, right? He's a better coach than Darvin Ham. I know people are starting to turn on JJ. It's not JJ, it's the roster. But he has made some mistakes. He has not been perfect by any stretch of the imagination, which you knew was going to happen. He's a first-year head coach. But one of the biggest mistakes, in my opinion, he has made thus far is Dalton Knecht. And the way that, one, him utilizing Knecht, I think he needs to make Knecht more of a focal point. And two, swapping Knecht or Rui for Hachimura for Knecht. I just think that those are things that he needs to correct. You need to change that. I just think it makes the Lakers harder to defend and harder to kind of figure out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.